Hi, this is Amy Hagerup of amyhagerup.com, and I'm your life-changing coach. Today I want to ask you about how is your trust? I want to tell you a story today that helps us to grow in the area of trust. We were on a trek one time in Ethiopia. We were missionaries there, and sometimes we'd have to walk 2 days from our village to get to a bigger station where we could get money, supplies, and more food and things like that. And sometimes we had to trek out to a larger station to get more money and supplies. We were doing this, and we had just gone most of our trek and overnighted in a village church, and then we had about 4 or 5 more hours to walk before we got to the bridge that had been broken out. That is, a lot of planks had been taken from it so a car couldn't go over it, and that's where we would be met by other missionaries in a car to pick us up and take us the rest of the way to the station. I had a baby at that time that was trekking with us, and he was about 7 months old at the time of this trek. We got up in the morning and had our breakfast that the lovely believers there prepared for us, and then we went on our way. I was a little bit chagrined, though, to realize that our water supply was getting lower. So after we all had a drink and started our trek, I knew that we were going to have to be rationing the water till we got to where our fellow missionaries would pick us up. After an hour or so, I can't remember exactly, we were all thirsty, and so I got out the water jug and poured some water into a cup for my baby. And I began to give him a good drink of water, being careful that I didn't spill a drop of that precious fluid. And after I gave him a drink, he patted the cup and made sounds making me realize that he wanted more. Well, I knew he wanted more. I wanted more too. But I knew if I gave him more right then, we wouldn't have water in another hour and a half or so when we would be thirsty again. The sun would be hotter and we would need water. So it broke my heart to tell my little baby, no, you can't have more now. We have to save it so we will have it later. Well, he didn't understand that. All he knew was he was thirsty and he wanted more. And you know what? He had to trust me. He had to trust me as his mom that I knew the best. I knew what was best for him. I could see the whole picture that he couldn't see. And isn't that the way it is with us and God? Sometimes we want our prayers answered a certain way, and we ask God for a certain answer, and He doesn't answer that way. Or He says, wait, or maybe no, or maybe go down this path. And you know what we have to do? We have to trust. We have to trust Him that He knows the whole picture. He knows things that we don't know. And so Benji had to trust me, and sure enough, an hour and a half later, we were so thirsty and we were able to have a drink again. And yes, we made it just fine to where our fellow missionaries met us, and then we all had big long drinks. So trust. Trust the Lord when you don't understand. Trust Him like Benji had to trust me. This is Amy Hagerup saying bye-bye.